Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we're doing the crossword for Saturday, January 25th, 2025. So on 1/25/25, did you do the crossword?
I did do the crossword.
And what did you think?
I thought it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Really hard.
Uh-huh.
I was just fighting every clue, trying to get a good answer.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, I stared at it, getting almost nothing anywhere for the longest time. And I'm like, I would like to say a few final words to my streak before it dies. But I was able to dig deeply and got a little bit of luck in a few places and was able to solve it. So, but it certainly, for the longest time, it looked like, nope, nothing's going to happen here. Because the clues...
Yeah, I had that same experience.
The clues were so tricky. Let's take a look at one across. Undesirable airplane seatmate. That could be anything. And it was ARMRESTHOG, which is a delight, a debut. And I was just sort of like, okay, what do I not like about them? I had an RE in there, and I thought maybe it's something to do with a snorer. And then I thought something, maybe like they're really large and or maybe the main thing I was thinking about was that they talk a lot.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking, like a gabby person.
But there were no letters from the crosses that would make it work. And needless to say, it was the crosses that saved me everywhere.
Yeah. So.
But even the crosses, like 2 down, it passes through many Swiss banks. And, my first thought was euros. And then I thought, oh, wait, it's probably a river. And because it passes through them. So I was envisioning a bunch of banks with ATM machines and a river going through it. And then I was trying to remember, okay, what's a famous river in Switzerland? And I thought the Seine. And I thought, I don't think that's right. But it was the Rhone, R-H-O-N-E.
Yes,
And the one next to it, I could not remember. 3 down, Loy of Filmdom. Myrna Loy.
Myrna Loy, yes.
Did you know that?
I did know that one.
Boy, that helped.
Yes, it did.
The one next to it, thing of interest, 4 down, was rate.
Right.
That was sort of as far as this crossword is concerned, that was close to a gimme. And so there were enough letters there that I was able to sort of figure out what needed. How to get ARMRESTHOG out of all of that.
But at the end of that, 9 down and 10 down, oh man, I didn't know. 9 down was, I can't even say it, Aeschylus Trilogy of Tragedies, and that was Orestia. You haven't read Orestia? No, I have not.
I was once in it,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played the buffoon. And
then 10 down, The Forest in a Metaphor, Gestalt.
Right.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah. I was thinking, okay, the only metaphor I could think about forest is you can't see the forest for the trees. Right. And so I was trying to get trees to work in there.
Yes,
I mean, Gestalt is just sort of like the general environment around you, right?
I really don't remember from my Psych 101 class.
We'll come back. We need to come back and discuss Gestalt. I think we should file that away for future discussion.
Oh, okay.
We need to study that word intently. But yeah, that whole section there, and the clue underneath ARMRESTHOG, this is a waste of my time. 15 across. The answer was, why am I here?
Yeah.
I love that answer. I mean, I think people ask that so many times in meetings. Why am I here?
Maybe not aloud.
And like, take me now, please.
No.
And the one beneath it, 17 across, body shops, mortuaries.
Yes.
Wow.
It was rather morbid.
Yeah. That was very interesting. And 19 across, the poet Bradstreet was Anne.
Yep.
Did you know that?
No.
See, I didn't know that either. And I'm like, come on, give me a break somewhere. And nowhere, even 22 across, the largest U.S. union with about 3 million members in brief. So I'm like, okay, AFL, CIO.
No, NEA.
NEA. Really?
I used to be a member.
Oh, okay.
when I taught junior high.
So it's not
many years ago.
So it's not 3 million, it's 2,999,999, whatever.
No, back then it was probably not 3 million, but I did know that that's a teachers union, National Educational Association.
I love the one next to it, 23 across. Funding source for the Great Wall of China. Salt tax.
Right.
Wow.
I got the tax part right away, but salt took me like forever. Because 7 down was clutches.
Right.
And I thought throes, like you're in the throes of passion. But it was thrall.
Yeah.
And so I was just so sure that was throes. But no, it was thrall, so that L then created these.
That's a word that I really don't even know if I know. I know the word enthrall.
Enthrall, yes.
But not thrall.
Mm-hmm. And that last L crossed with 37 down, or 37 across.
27 across.
Oh, yeah, 27 across. Brass. Gall.
Yeah.
I was trying to think brass. First I thought, well, musical instruments. Then I thought, well, military. They call them the brass. But they were just talking about, being brassy.
But didn't you know
the gall to do something?
Didn't you know 27 down? Barbie director Greta.
Yeah, I knew it began with a G,
right.
But I couldn't think what it would be. Relating it to musical instruments or to military.
Right.
I thought, well, general, but it wouldn't fit. But anyway,
no.
It's gall.
I look at the word brass and I think nerve.
Oh.
So I was sort of ready for that one. I wasn't ready for the 23 down, joined a union, said I do.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought it was going to be married, M-A-R-R.
Yeah, I tried to put married
which
in there.
fitted.
But it was.
At least in terms of length. But yes, said I do was quite nice. Let's see. In the 80s or 90s, say, 43 across, over par.
Right. That took a while.
I had a hunch that those weren't temperatures. But I didn't know what they were.
I thought they were maybe years, okay.
Yeah.
What happened in the 80s and 90s? So.
Quite a lot.
So
we had 36 across, sight in Monet's boating on the River Epte, and it was canoe.
Right.
I think there's some. I was looking in wordplay, some discussion as to whether or not it really is the word canoe, because it doesn't look like a canoe.
Oh, really?
No. So you're not familiar with the boating on the River Epte painting?
I probably have seen it, but no, not off the top of my head.
Well, we'll go investigate that too. The homework we're going to have after this podcast. Let's see. Current events, 37 across was Riptides.
Right.
Nice. That was very well done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have to admit, I had trouble in this corner, and I did have to look up something so I could finish it.
Well, you and a million other people. I mean, this was a very hard crossword.
I was hoping maybe I'd get a nice Saturday for this day, but I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I got a tough, a really tough one.
Did it?
But then Fridays was, that seemed a little
too
easier, a little easier than a typical Friday. So they really gave me a wallop on Saturday.
Yeah.
But it was still a fun puzzle. It had some fun clues, but oh my, it was hard.
So where were you? So you were stuck in the bottom left?
Yes, because 30 down was a word I wasn't sure what it was, but it was consumed with grief, and it turned out to be stress ate.
Yes. Stress
ate, like eating.
Yeah, as opposed to stress eat.
Yeah, so I wanted, I sort of had the stress going, but I couldn't quite figure out the end of that. And then that S crossed with the way in Islam, that was 30 across, which was Sharia.
Right.
And I knew it was a word sort of like that, but I couldn't remember how to spell it. I did get the H from Sharia in, and that was where locks are picked, 31 down. I knew that was hair salon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that helps you a lot.
I got that part right away. But everything around it I could not get. The next one was a trick clue, 32 down, S&P 500 part. And I'm like, well, what would that be? Something to do with stocks or trading or whatever. Turned out to be ampersand.
Yep.
So anyway.
I was
I had trouble down there.
I was fortunate because I knew 50. I bet you didn't know 58 across. Well, I should never bet on you not knowing something. 58 across segments of curling matches, ends.
Well, I kind of thought it was ends because I got the N in hair salon and it said segments, so I knew it had to
be
end in
plural,
an S.
right?
So I thought, well, is it ends maybe? And yeah, I did eventually get that.
See, I had ends there, and so that helped a lot. And then indicator of deflation, 49 down was hiss.
Yes.
So I had the last words of those bottom four, and I had that last word of four of the downs.
Yeah.
So I was in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I also knew, I'm assuming you got this one, 42 across Old Atlas and Nits, SSR.
Yes, I did get that one. Because we've had that clue before, and it's always SSR.
See, I don't know how I got Sharia. I'm not even, I didn't know that from first principles, but somehow I was able to get that, and I got ampersand.
I was thinking it was Shirah, like SHIRAH, like Shirah.
Well, I had tamed. I had enough letters to see the word ampersand, and I thought, oh, this is good. But like I said, I mean, I spent. This was definitely a tough Saturday crossword, but still, I mean, the clues were great. Like 53 across, they'll show you a thing or two. Tour guides. That was good.
That was great. Yeah, and I did get 59 fairly expediently. Holder of orbs, eye socket.
Yes.
And the reason I got it was because I had gotten several of the downs, and I could see the I, E-Y-E, and I had the O and the C of socket. And I'm like, oh, I bet that's eye sockets, and it was.
Yeah.
So,
because I was thinking of, like ceremonial staff or something like that. But there were a few in that area too. 45 down, Blank Smith, the autograph man novelist, Zadie.
Zadie, yes. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know Zadie.
Or namely, it est.
Really? I use that all the time in my writing. I always write IE, which means that is.
Oh.
And that's like second nature to me.
I used to use IE, like when I was writing in academic circles, but I didn't know that's what it stood for.
Yes.
I just always wrote IE.
Id est, that is.
Id est.
Id est.
Id est. Interesting.
And of course we had 45 across, take another direction, zig.
Right.
We always have the question, is it zig or is it zag? Or is it something else entirely?
And I kind of thought I knew 51 across, some photo montage art, and I had the D and I had the D, and it was 4 letters. I thought, what was that? Da-da. And it was.
I'll tell you another one in the middle of the grid, 28 across, felt in the Christmas spirit. Elf hats.
Oh, I was so happy when I got that one.
I had the word hats, and I decided, okay, I was sort of thinking like, old-time Christmas carol, so I had top hats.
Oh, no. I knew, felt in the Christmas spirit, so it made of felt. I'm like, oh, it's elf hats. So
I don't even know what elf hats are made of. I figured love.
No, it's just like, if you've ever been to a Christmas pageant with little children, dressed up like elves, they all have felt elf hats.
Oh, okay. Well, that F of elf hats ran into 25 down, certain something, X factor. I figured out salt tax, and I thought, this is going to start with an X? Really? And then, but I got enough to somehow figure it out. Yeah, so this was, there were some absolutely great clues everywhere. Even 6 down, Cheap Thrills pop star, Sia. Did you get that?
No, but it was 3 letters, so I thought, I wonder if it's Sia, because I couldn't think of any other pop star that only had a 3-letter name. Even like Cher, 4, so I'm like, But, yeah.
1-2 over from that, 8 down, job that might require a fence. So I thought, oh, it's going to be a thief. So I put down thief. One of the letters was correct and in the right position, but it was actually, it was heist.
Right.
Which is even better. So, all right, so let's review our homework for this crossword. We have to look up Orestia. We have to look up Gestalt.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure there was something else we have to look up. We have to look up the canoe to see whether or not there's really a canoe. And then we should also, just for fun, look up 50 across, classic novel of the South Seas, Omoo.
Yeah.
You know, yesterday we had Cowshed in the grid, and today we had Omoo.
I don't think they're related.
I think Will Shortz works like on a fourth or fifth dimension when it comes to these things. I think he went for, okay, I need something that sounds like Cowshed. Omoo. That's going to be my next crossword.
No.
You know he does it that way.
We've had that in a crossword before, Omoo.
Yeah, but not after Cowshed.
No, true, but...
I think that's absolutely... Actually, I don't even know. I'm assuming that this classic novel of the South Seas doesn't really involve bovines.
No.
Okay.
It's sort of... Wasn't it kind of the follow-up to Moby Dick? It was written by Herman Melville.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was like his one after he wrote Moby Dick. So
He should have called it like Blub or something. Omoo just doesn't have a ring to it, you know. Moby Dick. That's got some real excitement, but Omoo, it's just like, huh?
Well, I'm sorry.
Yep. I'm going to start my campaign to rename Omoo as Moby Dick 2, The Return to the Deep. Perhaps I should read it first before I start retitling it.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Okay. All right. Well, that is it for the grid. This was a crossword by Michael Lieberman, a toughie, his first Saturday crossword, and he has done a total of 26 for the New York Times.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought it was amazing. It is Saturday.
Yes, it is.
Which means it's time for JAMCOTWA, the Gene and Mike Crossword of the Week Award, where we go back through the crosswords of the week and pick out what we deem to be the very best.
That's right.
And this week we picked
Thursday.
Raw.
And it had a rebus, not too tough, but a rebus. And it just was so clever. It had such interesting and unique answers as well as clues. And it was done by some novices, right? Nathan Last and the JASA crossword class. So just people who are learning how to make crosswords, and they made a really great one.
Right.
So.
Just to be clear, Nathan is an old hand at this.
Well, yes, Nathan is, but I mean, it was a group effort.
Yes.
So
yes,
most
indeed.
of them were novices, I should say. But just a lovely puzzle.
So well done, Nathan.
And the class.
And the class. And if you feel so inclined, drop us a line, crosswordpodcast@icloud.com, and we will have multiple copies of your JAMCOTWA certificate, as well as a truckload of Northeast Wisconsin swag. And if you provide us T-shirt sizes, an avalanche of T-shirts heading its way towards you in no time.
That's right.
So you can get a hold of us at crosswordpodcast@icloud.com.
Yep.
And anyone else who wants to provide comments can do the same. That is to say, send email to us there. We don't need your shirt size. All right, that is it for today. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back again with our cutting edge analysis of Sunday's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.